of unwanted layer. Because of that, metal become dull in appearance. It starts showing different color, like copper has brown color, silver has gray color. Okay, but when it comes to the contact with the atmospheric acid, it turns its color to black. So we'll simply say that if the metals come in the contact with the atmospheric gases, and because of that, it changes its color. So we called it uh, color or strength. We can say that was layer by layer in iron. The rusting, because of rusting, the metals get okay. Uh, keep on depositing, or we can say that keep on degrading itself. So we'll say that corrosion is the deposition of unwanted layer on the surface of metals when it comes in the contact with the atmospheric gases. Please note it down fast. Are you noting? Please turn on your camera. Everyone, please turn on your camera. Are you writing, sir? Note this one, the deposition of unwanted layer on the surface of metals when it come in the contact with the atmospheric gases such as carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. We call it corrosion.
Done, sir.
Okay. Now, what I'm talking about that, let's from that, um, as you know that the most important corrosion, the most, the most important corrosion, if I'm talking about, is what is that corrosion? Which is most important corrosion? The most, the not important, we say that the most common corrosion, okay, corrosion in is in iron, and it is very popular. Okay, that iron के अंदर corrosion बहुत ज्यादा है, तो that's why the corrosion in iron is called, what we call it, corrosion in iron is called rusting. We call it rusting. Okay, rusting. So rusting is a special name given to the corrosion in iron. Okay, and don't stop writing. Well, I will tell you, then you have to write. Okay, so corrosion is the special name given to the rusting sorry, rusting is the special name given to the corrosion in iron. And if I'm talking about this one, what are the things for the rusting required? So first of all, iron must be there because we are talking about this corrosion in iron, that is rusting. So rusting के लिए सबसे important है that iron should be there. Second, oxygen should be there and water should be there. And this togetherly we call it moist air. Moist air. So if it is present there, then it will we will get it Fe2O3 dot XH2O. Got it? So that so
Yes.
if I'm talking about this one, this is the formula of rust. This is the formula of rust. It is XH2O, okay, which is a variable. It can be 7, it can be 5, it can be something else. So during the rainy season, you see that if the iron is not painted or eh, not painted, so we see that rusting brown color coating over the iron substances or iron metal, which is made up of things that is made up of iron. Anything, it can be a grill, it can be anything. So if it is made up of iron, it got rusted. So iron, I'm talking about this one. Okay, are you getting the point? Some of that.
Yes, sir.
So please. So what are the condition required? So if you have three things, like for example, you have a test tube, and in that test tube A, okay, this is the test tube, right? This is the test tube A. So if you have test tube B, you have test tube C. Okay, so if you are keeping them, okay, this is test tube A, this is B, and this is C. One is filled with air. You have an iron nail, and it is filled with air only, air, dry air, dry air. Okay, airtight, dry air, no other. Okay. This is an iron nail, but it is filled with only water up to the brims. Only water. Okay, only water. So, and if you have an iron nail, it is having water plus oxygen. Okay. It is open, open. It is closed, closed, and it is also closed. So we'll notice that the rusting will occur more appropriately in the test tube C. Test tube C, which is having open air as well as uh, uh, means oxygen is supply is available here. Okay, we can say that it is coming from the air as well as water is there. There is water. And this is iron name. Okay, so this is iron name. Iron name. So in which case the iron rusting will be done? Rusting will be done in case of, okay, in case of this one. So rusting will take place take place in test tube C. In test tube C. Got it? समझ आया? So let me check whether this is there. So note it down. Note it down. Corrosion. Just a minute. यहाँ से कैसे होगा? Note it down. Why did you join so late, beta? We are studying corrosion insensitivity. Are you there? On your camera.
Yes, sir.
On your camera. We are studying the corrosion. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Done? Have you noted? बेटा जल्दी से बताओ, लिखा? Tara, Inan, Bharti. Are you writing?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm waiting.
Okay, done. You done, बेटा? जब हो जाए तो फटाफट से मुझे बताना, फिर मैं आगे चलूंगा। ओके, जल्दी से, टाइम नहीं है अपना बहुत ज्यादा, लिखना है। डन? यार इतना टाइम कैसे लग रहा है इसमें? हो गया? भारती, सारा, डन?
Yes, sir.
Bharti, you also done?
Yes, sir.
So why are you not informing me? Okay, चल। अब ये तो था कि रस्टिंग इन आयरन, तो अब आयरन की रस्टिंग कैसे प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं? हाउ कैन वी प्रिवेंट द रस्टिंग इन आयरन? दिस इज वेरी सिंपल, दैट you know that it is the atmospheric gases that is coming in the contact with the iron and making it to corrode, making it to rust. So if we create a barrier, like this is an iron pole, this is an iron pole, okay? This is a pole of iron, okay, that is the pole of iron. So if we create a barrier of it over a paint, okay, So what it will do? It will or iron article if we create which is an iron article. Okay. So if we an iron article, so if we create a barrier over a paint of a paint, grease, oil over it, so that the is okay, it can be a barrier of paint. Okay. So barrier of paint slash oil grease. So what it will do? So when it is the barrier of paint, then no. So the atmospheric gases, oxygen, water will not will not come in the contact with with the wall wall of main wall of iron, with the main surface of iron, main surface of iron, surface of iron. So when we do this one, so it will not come in the contact. Are you getting my point? But why again? So this can be paint, oil, or grease, or galvanizing. Galvanizing. Galvanization means deposition of thin layer. Deposition. Deposition of thin layer. Thin. THIN. Thin layer of zinc. Thin layer of zinc on the surface of iron. On the surface of iron. Okay, so please make this one fast and then we shall be going to write it. Rusting can be prevented. Rusting can be prevented like this way. So when you're done, please let me know. You're done. This is very simple. Write it fast.
Answer.
No, sir, the one thing I should write was
Note it fast. This is iron article or iron part, iron substance कुछ भी हो सकता है.
So done.
Yeah. Okay. So you can write it like this way also, that how can rusting be prevented? Rusting can be prevented by creating a layer. Okay. And in the atmospheric gases. Yes. So by the following ways. So please, if you wish, you can, will you be able to write this one? Making alloys by oiling, by greasing, by galvanizing, by applying paints. Okay, write it down fast. जल्दी लिखो फटाफट, टाइम है अभी तो लिख सकते हो, जल्दी लिखो. ओके, टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट. आप लिख लोगे मुझे पता है इसका आंसर. अगर आप, इफ यू आर गोइंग टू गेट दिस क्वेश्चन इन योर होमवर्क, इन द एग्जाम्स, यू विल बी एबल टू आंसर दिस. आई एम श्योर फॉर दैट. आप लिख लोगे इसको, इतना कोई बुद्धू नहीं है यहाँ पे. ओके, डन. चलो, नेक्स्ट इज, लेट्स मूव फर्दर. इफ यू हैव नॉट टेकन द स्क्रीनशॉट, लेट मी नो. आई विल मेक स्लाइड अगेन. हैव यू टेकन द स्क्रीनशॉट ऑन? सबने लिखा, ले लिया? ओके, लेट्स मूव फर्दर. घर से. सो the other metals, like this was the corrosion in iron. Now talking about the corrosion in aluminum. In aluminum. Corrosion in aluminum. Aluminum. So as you know that if aluminiums come in the contact with the, or aluminium substance comes in the contact with the atmospheric gases, they form a layer. To the aluminum part. To the aluminum part. So I'm talking about this one. This one is, yes, Anand, why have you turned off your camera? Aluminium part. Okay, so when this come in the contact with the atmospheric gases, what happens here is that it form a protective covering over it. It form a covering of it, over it, and this covering we call it Al2O3 covering. This is protective. Unlike the iron or Fe2O3 formation, rusting formation, it does not let the aluminum metal to corrode. उससे corrosion नहीं होता है, मतलब लेयर बाय लेयर डिपॉजिट करके गिरती नहीं है. ओके, मतलब ये it remain as a protective layer. Okay, it remain as a protective layer over the surface of the aluminum part, inside and outside both. Okay, so this is the protective layer of aluminum or Al2O3. But why we are then, if it is a protective layer, then why we are causing it corrosion? Because it makes the aluminum metal dull. Okay, it makes the aluminum metal dull in appearance. So if I'm talking about this one, so this one is the inner and outer, inner and outer layer of aluminum oxide, Al2. Al2O3 act as a protective layer and does not let the metal to corrode further. Means the layer does not let the metal to corrode. But why it is called corrosion? Because it gives dull appearance. Okay, so we'll write it that aluminium when come in the contact with atmospheric gases, it form protective layer of Al2O3, which does not let inner layer of aluminium to corrode further. But since it make it dull in appearance, that's why it is called corrosion. It is called corrosion. So note it down. You done? Sarah, Bharti, Nan? You done this one?
Sir, we
Wake
are.
up.
I'm like.
Okay, write it down fast. Jaldi लिखो.
Sir, what is that in of aluminium to corrode what?
Further. It is
Ah,
F. It should be further. FUR. To corrode further. When you're done, please let me know.
Answer.
Can I move further? चले आगे. चल. And what I'm talking about this one is very simple. That if I'm having talking about the corrosion in copper, corrosion in copper, corrosion, copper. So coppers when come in the contact with the atmospheric gases, copper when come, write it down, come in the contact with atmospheric gases. atmospheric gases. It forms a bluish, a greenish, dirty greenish greenish layer of copper carbonate of copper of copper carbonate dot copper hydroxide. Of CuCO3 dot CuCO3 dot CuOH bulldogs. समझ आया? This layer can be dissolved or removed by using mild 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 acid such as citric citric acid, vinegar, vinegar, lemon juice. Lemon juice also have citric acid, okay? Citric acid, etc. Get down. Done. Done.
Sir, last line. Sir, done, sir.
Everyone done? Tara and
Yes.
Nati? So now next one is corrosion in silver. Corrosion in silver. That is called Ag2S, silver sulfide. So silver when comes in the contact with atmospheric gases, it form a black color layer on the surface on the surface of it, which can be removed, which can be removed by heating it, by heating it, it on flame. like Ag2S, which is black in color. When you heat it in the presence of oxygen, it will react from Ag to Ag plus SO2. Okay. You done? समझ आया?
Done, sir.
Everyone done? Inan, you done, beta?
Yes,
Utkish,
sir. I finished for you.
you're taking screenshot.
Yes, sir.
इससे तो लिखो इम्पोर्टेंट है. इससे तुम भूल जाओगे बेटा. आयरन को तुम लिख सकते थे जहाँ मुझे लगा कि तुम लिख सकते हो वहाँ मैंने अलाउ किया स्क्रीनशॉट. रस्टिंग ऑफ आयरन कैसे प्रिवेंट की जाती है कैन राइट इट. That how rusting can be prevented, but you cannot write it to my phone though. Yeah,
The last one, last one. They're done.
let's go further. Write down this question in notebook fast. A brown color substance X when a substance come in the contact with atmospheric gases, it forms another compound Y. The compound is when rubbed with mild acid like citric acid or lemon juice, its substance get brown layer again. What is X and Y? When you done, please let me know. बोलो क्या हो सकता है substance X? Substance X can be copper and Y will be copper carbonate or copper hydroxide and this layer can be dissolved. I have told you कि अगर आप इसको easily dissolve कर सकते हैं. हम्म? अरे getting point समझ आया? क्या हुआ भाई? कोई जवाब ही नहीं दे रहा मेरी बात का. हम्म? चलो अभी
Yes,
पूछना
sir.
शुरू करते हैं. What is rancidity? Rancidity क्या होती है? Rancidity means the oil containing food. Okay. When come into contact with the atmospheric gases, so they become rancid. वो खराब उनमें से मतलब foul smell आ जाना means unwanted smell, foul smell, the smell that does not that you don't like because of the bacterial actions. Okay, so that because of the oxidation of food. So the iron containing food when comes in the contact with the atmospheric gases like this one, it result in foul smell and change in taste. It is called rancidity. Please note it down. Fast. Rancidity means oil containing fat when comes in the contact with it. समझ आया कि नहीं आया पहले बताओ. Rancidity क्या है? Rancid means sardiness, means foul smell. Okay, means unwanted smell that you don't like. Oxidation of food you can say.
Sir, this is second chapter, right?
This is the first chapter.
Chemical reaction, equations and reactions.
Yeah, that is rancidity
Sir,
in code.
school they did not teach this and all
Teacher does not teach you this one. That means
on CET and all. On yeah.
sincere. Sincere. So teacher does not teach us this one. This is here chemical equations and reactions chapter. That's chemical equations and reaction. And this is rancidity and this is corrosion. Why your teacher does not teach us this one? So R just coming back. There is someone at the door. Done. Noted. And how rancidity we can prevent the rancidity. Rancidity can be prevented by adding oil. What we do here is that when we are having pickles, जिसको हम लोग अचार बोलते हैं, okay, so in the pickles what we do actually we have a layer of oil over surface. We have layer of oil. So what does oil do? Oil act as a barrier. It is not letting the oxygen gases to come in the contact with the main layer surface. Okay, so rancidity is oil containing foods when come in the contact with the atmospheric gases. Okay, uh, it uh, it result in foul smell and change in taste and odor. It is called rancidity. Okay. When you done, please let me know. इस पे क्वेश्चंस करते हैं फटाफट से. तो यहाँ पर if I'm talking about this one, like oil, salt, we are adding sugar, keeping food in the refrigerator, okay? By keeping it in airtight container, by adding sugar, you know that like the sweet does not rinse it in a single in 1 or 2 days, okay? So like jalebi, if you are having, because it is having large amount of sugar, okay, and also the one which is carrying high amount of salt, it does not get rinsed. And there are some chemical preservative also, BHT and BHA, which is called butylated hydroxytoluene and butylated hydroxyazole. That is no need to learn the full form. Only write BHT and BHA, and sodium benzoate, etc. are the chemicals that are used in the preservatives. Like you have juices, food cans, juices. Okay, so that does not corrode. They are packed. Their shelf life is can be increased by adding chemical preservative to it.
Sir, done, sir.
And everyone,
Yes, sir.
last question, that why do we fill nitrogen gas in the chips packets? Because nitrogen is if I'm talking about this one, nitrogen is not a inert gas. Inert means that do not react with anyone. It is natural inert like helium, neon, argon, which has completely filled shell. Okay, which has completely filled shell. So we called it nitrogen gas. Sorry, here noble gases. But you know that noble gases percentage is very, very less in the atmosphere. It is like 27% is oxygen, 21% is oxygen, and 72% is 78% is nitrogen. Okay. So out of that, 1% is all the gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, other gases, helium, neon, argon, hydrogen, other gases are in 1%. So even there is the percentage of noble gases is less than 1%. So acquiring that gases from the atmosphere is very difficult. But we have nitrogen as 78% in the atmosphere. And that 78% nitrogen behave like an inert gas. Because why? Because nitrogen is the only gas that is having triple bond between its molecule. Nitrogen exists in the form of N2 and it has triple bond. Nitrogen has 5 electrons in its outermost shell. In order to complete the electronic configuration to the nearest noble gas, means 2, 8. It wants to have 2, 8. So they share 3 electrons. Two nitrogen atoms share 3 electrons. So this nitrogen is also getting its complete octet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this one is also. So like that, they make triple bond. So nitrogen is triply bond. And because of that triple bond, nitrogen do not react with anything. Even though I have taught you about the endothermic reaction, that nitrogen will react with any other elements, like nitrogen react with oxygen. It will gives you 2NO and require large amount of heat and high pressure. High pressure. Even nitrogen will react with hydrogen to form ammonia. It also occur at high temperature and high pressure. High pressure. And this is endothermic reaction. It is endothermic reaction. Okay, this is an endothermic reaction. So we say that nitrogen do not readily react with anything just because nitrogen is having triple bond. Okay, so it is not an inert but behave like a due to triple bond between its molecules. So write it down the answer. Just first write down the question: why do nitrogen gas is packed in chips packets or oil containing food? Done?
Sir, writing, sir.
ये तो कुछ नहीं बनाना तुम्हें, ओके, ये कुछ नहीं बनाना, बस ये लिखिए पड़ोगे। Nitrogen is not inert gas but behave as inert gas due to triple bond between the two nitrogen atoms. Therefore, large amount of energy is required to break the bond. So it does not react readily. Simple.
Sir, nitrogen is not an.
Inert, inert gas. Nitrogen is, sorry, nitrogen
Sir,
is not an inert gas. It behaves as inert due to triple bond between the two nitrogen atoms. Therefore, large
sir.
amount of energy. Hmm. Bolo.
So, what is inert mean?
Inert means that it is the gas which are having completely filled shell that do not react with anyone. Okay, whose valencies is zero, like helium, neon, argon. Okay, noble gases we can call them. कल तो मैंने पढ़ाया था इन्होंने चीज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में भूल
Yes, sir. Understood.
लो।
Done, sir.
So let's move to the next part here. Everyone done? सबने लिख लिया था?
Sir, last line. Can you show the last line? Sir, finish, sir.
Done everyone? So let's एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है इसमें, लाइक कॉर्जन ट्रांसलेटेड की क्वेश्चन तो लिख लोगे आप। ये भी लिख लोगे, व्हाई ऑयल कंटेनिंग फूड इज फ्लश्ड विद नाइट्रोजन गैस, अभी लिखा है इसका जवाब। ओके, बिकॉज नाइट्रोजन इज नॉट एन। व्हाई डू वी पेंट आयरन आर्टिकल्स a shiny brown rust metal, और ये इंपॉर्टेंट, ये हमने नहीं पढ़ा अभी। if there is a shiny brown color metal, तो shiny brown color metal is copper, okay? when heated, जब भी कॉपर को हीट करेंगे तो उसमें कोरोजन नहीं होता, इट रिएक्ट विद द एटमॉस्फेरिक गैस। ओके, क्वेश्चन नंबर 17 important है, and it forms Cu2O, copper oxide, which is black in color, which is black in color, black in color, got it? So please note it down this one. बस ये लिखो, this is X copper, shiny, shiny, इक्वेशन ही लिखो चाहे तो, shiny metal, metal copper, brown in color, and then write that.
Sir, finish, sir. Done.
Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for coming, everyone. And I hope you understood the concept of density in provision. Uh, so we'll meet
Yes.
you in the next class. Thanks for coming. Please
Thank you,
do
Yes,
the
sir.
sir.
assignment. Okay, bye bye. Take care. Do